What is up, guys? This is me, Johnny Cooper 64 here with another YouTube video. I'm back, and as I was gone for like months without doing any Crash or video game related news / discussion, gameplay analysis type of things, I have returned. However, I've been writing scripts for 2 videos about Crash, and now we got hit with gameplay of Nitro-Fueled from various YouTubers in YouTube. We have all been waiting for this, and we finally got it. Now let's take a look into the gameplay. We first get a look into Crash Cove, which we saw in the trailer reveal, but no actual gameplay. As you can see, we can get like a little look. We get a look into the icons. There's 3D models of the characters, and not the 2D icons how it was in the original CTR. They could have used the 2D icons from Insane Trilogy, but instead they use the 3D ones, and I actually like the new 3D icons a lot, especially the Crash model alongside Coco, Cortex, and Pura. I mean, look at Pura. She looks so cute with that pose. I'm glad they have different models in here instead of like reusing all poses from Insane Trilogy, which they could have done, but I'm glad they're not doing any of that because that would just be like reusing just tons of shit in there. We see the Time Watch Wumpa Fruit number with a 3D model of the Wumpa Fruit in the map. We see the item box, which we see the same style of the old CTR, but remastered like the Akuaku one. The ship is much bigger and detailed in Nitro-Fueled than the original. And the amount of trees added in the background make this game so much beautiful. And there's even a monkey in the top, which is a nice addition to add creatures in the background, The way the car makes the dust effect when it turns or goes into the sand. They really added a lot of detail in the track floors. There are assets in here that are reused from Insane Trilogy, however, which they could have changed as Beanux's Twitter added their concept art, which included more original things and like their art style instead of reusing assets, for example the Takey statue in the beach. But besides that, the water effects and the grass effects when you go into them with the cars, the water comes out, the grass flies everywhere. It's just details like these matter. It's what makes a game perfect and modern. The car does look heavier to turn and jump though. It's kind of like how Insane Trilogy did somewhat of a realistic effect, with the vehicle levels in Crash 3. And also the movements that Crash did was obviously much more heavier than the originals, because the originals were, you could have just jumped more easy, and the weight was just more easier, but in Insane Trilogy it was much more heavier, and I think we're going to be seeing the exact same thing in Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled. The level is amazing overall, and it really shines. I won't lie, it's so colorful that it pops up, especially the added stuff in the background. We also see Crash doing his victory dance in the vehicle, which is something the originals couldn't do because the characters were the overall game was limited. The characters get to express themselves now even more, and Crash, doing his dance is just spectacular. Up next, we got Dingo Canyon. Everybody thought this was going to be a completely new level at first during its reveal back in December because of the footage showing stores of the antagonists of Crash during Crash 3's motorcycle levels. These stores were not in the original, but Beanux have mashed up the Dingo Canyon and the Crash 3 motorcycle level together, and that is a very smart move for them to do, as it adds much more detail into the canyon level. We have birds in the top of the canyon to add that deserty feel alongside with the roads being more old and ripped. The canyon itself looks much more realistic and detailed, along with how there's water in the level by including these tubes. There's also these bridges that I don't think were in the original, but the amount of added background is just amazing. It's like a whole new level. People didn't even know this was Dingo Canyon when it was revealed back in December due to the amount of changes. The original was limited with things in the background, like the overall CTR was just limited with background stuff. It's just like you play through the tracks and that's all, like nothing really beauty in besides the tracks, and the detail was just so limited and everything. But just like the original Spyro, everything was just like kind of bland. Reunited and Nitro-Fueled benefits from being much more original, to have more stuff being added in there to make it like a brand new level that's just unrecognizable in a good way. Insane Trilogy, however, the thing about Insane Trilogy is that the originals added a lot of detail, but that's because it was like more linear and stuff like that. Naughty Dog just took it to the next level with that one. Love the little grasses popping out of the roads and the birds flying in the background. The signs that they add in there and the little houses in the background with the little wind wheel, that just gives it you know, that western feel. It reminds me of the first car movies with everybody racing in it, you know. That's how beautiful this whole level is, and the game overall. Just really amazing detail on Beanix's part. Now before we take a look at Polar Pass, let's look at the beginning of the menu. We have the 3 levels: Crash Cove, Dingo Canyon, and Polar Pass, which are the only levels currently playable in the demo. We can choose up to 4 players split screen, but I think we might only be able to do like 2 players split screen during online multiplayer, kind of like how they did with Mario Kart 8. We have the character menu selection. People have been saying that this looks kind of like Fortnite in a way, with how the style of the screen is. You know, they shall change it. You know, they could put in like that black and white checkerboard to the background, you know, to make it like more racing in there, and still have the red and blue, you know, thing going on. You know, we have the icons like Crash, Cortex, Dingo Dow, Engine, Polar, Pura, Tiny, and Coco. More characters are yet to be unlocked and revealed. They definitely need to add Rillaroo, you know, kind of reboot his character in this somewhat, you know, insane rebooted timeline. I love the new animations these characters make when you're selecting them, you know, when you start the race. They show the parts of the track that you're going to be racing, making the game similar to what Mario does before the game starts. And, you know, I absolutely love that, you know. They're really taking their time and changing the old CTR and making it much more modern and really new. Plus, you know, they're adding new stuff, you know, so you can really just consider this like a new game. Now let's take a look into Polar Pass, the 3rd and final level in the demo. We see the big polar in the beginning of the stage and top of the CTR logo, and another big polar from Crash 2, Dead in the Ice, which is, I don't know what to say about that one. There's these dragon statues that now breathe fire, unlike the original, which is a cool feature they included in there, you know, to kind of pop that whole environment in there. The houses in the background seems to be like a village, which is a nice addition to the Polar Pass level, with pirate ships being in there as well, you know. Like how there were birds in there, you know, Dingo Canyon, there is polar bears in the background, which is amazing considering the theme of the level. Just the amount of detail in the background is phenomenal. The winter trees, statues that, you know, have fire coming out of them, everything just looks beautiful, colorful, and they just really pop out. And like the icing, like the way the ice glows and everything, the reflection, you know, it's just amazing overall. There's this thing, however, with what they did with Aku Aku. Instead of reusing the Insane Trilogy sound effect, you know, the Burubuka Badum-dum, which, you know, they're reusing statues from Insane Trilogy to begin with. They decided to make a new voice clip for Aku Aku, and it sounds just terrible. It does not sound like anything Aku Aku ever sounded like before. The deep voice from Insane Trilogy and the classics, you know, are deep, you know, the voice are deep, but this one is much more higher than that, you know. Absolutely out of character in my opinion. The voices with the characters are also different, besides Aku Aku. You know, for example, Coco. I don't know if they got a new voice actor or they're making Debbie Derryberry to do like a little new spin on Coco, making her sound more different than the Insane Trilogy. And so is with some of the other characters. Overall, the 3-level gameplay looks very beautiful and just really pop out. I like the soundtrack, and hopefully they fix the Aku Aku sound and the character menu selection. They listened to our criticism, which is something Vicarious Visions did and Toys for Bob as well. I don't know why, you know, Beanix can't do the same. So, you know, if you guys want to do something Beanix to have it change, you know, just tweet them out. You know, they'll look into it, you know, see what they can do and probably fix it. You know, what do you guys think about this gameplay? Do you guys love it? Are you guys excited for Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled? Because I sure hell am. And I will definitely be playing with my subscribers when that game comes out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.